Have you ever felt like someone was watching you? An invisible gaze, a presence lurking in the darkness. I used to think it was just my imagination. Until I realized. I could no longer ignore it. I'm a night shift security guard at an old warehouse. My job is nothing special, just sitting in front of the screen, monitoring security cameras, and going on scheduled patrols. But then, strange things started happening. 2 nights ago, I decided to thoroughly inspect the entire warehouse. I searched every hallway, every dark corner, shining a flashlight into every nook and cranny. I expected to find a mouse or a shadow of someone hiding. But I don't see anything. Around midnight, when I sat back in the office, the motion sensor in hallway C suddenly activated. The light flashed 3 times, but on the screen, the hallway was empty. Nothing but rows of old iron shelves. I gulped, grabbed a flashlight and decided to go check it out. My footsteps echoed in the silent space. I noticed old stains on the floor, something seemed to have been dragged across. As I approached the sensor, a click sounded above my head. The hallway light suddenly turned off. In the darkness, I heard a slow, rough breathing. I looked towards the end of the hallway and saw a tall, thin figure with long arms that almost reached the knees. I couldn't see its face. My hand shook as I raised the flashlight. But in just a moment, it disappeared. I rushed towards the end of the hallway. Nobody. There is no door, no way out. Just a cold concrete wall. The nights that followed became more uncomfortable. The sensor is continuously activated. Sometimes, I hear footsteps right behind me, but when I turn around, there's no one there. One time, I looked at the camera and saw a shadow flash across the screen, but when I watched it again, there was nothing. I haven't slept well in weeks. My boss said, as long as nothing was stolen or vandalized, there was no problem. But I know there's something here. Second story, mysterious wooden plan. I'm not just a security guard. I am also a carpenter, specializing in making custom furniture. I used to think this job was simple, until a man brought me an old wooden plank. It had strange symbols engraved on its surface, not letters, not numbers, but symbols I had never seen before. He wanted me to restore it, simply clean it and repolish it. The job seems easy. But the next morning, all traces of sanding were gone. I tried everything, from sandpaper, to cleaning chemicals, to varnish, but the board always returned to its original state. It was as if it restored itself. And then strange things began. I leave the hammer in one place, the next day it appears in another place. I heard a rattling sound in the workshop when I was alone. I saw a shadow peek around the corner, but when I turned around, there was no one. I called the customer, asked him about the origin of the board. He said he only knew it came from an antique store in Northern Europe. I offered to return it, and he agreed. But about a week later, he returned, panicked. He said that every time the board touched the metal, it made a buzzing sound like static electricity. I checked, and it was true. As he held a metal ruler near the board, the sound rang out. A sound that does not belong to this world. I refuse to do anything more with that board. I don't want it in my workshop anymore. Long silence, slight crackling sound of wood, low voice. From that day, everything returned to normal. But sometimes, late at night, when I work alone, I still feel like there's someone standing behind me. And I don't dare go back. If you have heard this far, please leave your comments on this story. Have you experienced anything similar? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next scary stories. See you in the next video, if you're still here.